Yo, only real ninjas is an hour late to their own show. Now I'm playing with y'all. This is sad. I kid you not. I thought I was gonna take a little pre-stream nap. My alarm, I think, barely goes off. I don't even think it went off. Try to scramble on around what 8:30 ish, and then spent the last 30 minutes trying to sign on. Like I kid you not, the last 30 minutes trying to sign on to my ESPN account because that's where the game is being streamed right now. So right now is the Minnesota is right now I'm watching it. I have because I have two screens. So I got the TV right in front of me. I don't have the commentary on. It's me. It's me. But yeah, that's embarrassing. That's quite embarrassing. So right now it is 3-7. The Minnesota Vikings are facing the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field as we speak. It is the second quarter. Let me see if I can do a live scoreboard. If I can do that on here. How to insert live scoreboard. Oh, that's crazy. Apparently, I can add a live scoreboard to my StreamYard. That's great. Okay. Okay, looking for StreamYard. Let me see. Oh, never mind. This is the wrong website for it. Flexi score. Let's see. That would be really neat as hell if I could add a live scoreboard to StreamYard. That would be sick. That would be sick. That would be sick. Hmm. I'm Ray said first time in probably in a year or so when Chris shows his face. Well, unfortunately, I fell for the trap because they thought they had this thing now where they have a AI detector, right? So with the AI detector, they thought my channel was the AI. So they basically targeted all the channels that would review videos, review content, but they would not show their face. So a lot of those channels got demonetized. So my channel got demonetized and I got remonetized by submitting an appeal and showing my face in the appeal. Now, obviously, with the appeal, I'm pretty sure I got to keep showing my face. Specifically, if it comes to if I am reviewing videos, I have to show my face. That's what a lot of my channel is on about. And even then, my channel blew up when I was showing my face, anyways. So it is what it is. I didn't want it. I didn't want it to be this way. I didn't want it to be this way because when I got StreamYard, I was like, oh, I'm good now. I'm good now. I'm straight, right? And technically, I didn't need to show my face when I had OBS, but with StreamYard, it was so seamless. I could run it how I saw the Legends was running it, like Chronic. Sandman and all these people, right? That's how they was running it. There's a lot of channels running it like that, just a faceless, or they were using an avatar. Um, that's how they were running it. Also, right now, the Chicago Bears and the Vikings are back right now. It's 7-3. It's about 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Apparently, Caleb Williams got some good stats up right now. I didn't watch the first quarter. They showed all the stats and whatnot. It looks clean. And Caleb Williams is dominating the duel with JJ McCarthy, but the score is still 7-3, which is a bit worrying to me. But anyways, I'm not the one for like stats and all this stuff because stats can lie to you. Stats can lie to you. You got to watch the games. And right now, Caleb Williams is misfiring. The stats might not show it. Like, how about this? I'll give you a better insight. So with the Chicago Bears last year. Oh, by the way, I am remonetized. With the Chicago Bears last year, when you saw Caleb Williams, stats, it looks good. And people were going to say, oh, he got sacked a lot. It's because his offensive line was bad. No, that's not true. I watched Caleb Williams last year. He was holding on the ball for way too long. A lot of the times I was watching Caleb Williams last year, he was holding on the ball for way too long. Way too long. Trying to make something out of nothing, and that's no disrespect to Caleb Williams. But yeah, I'm ready to I have to show my face. That's just how it is now. Now, if I'm like reviewing like just blogs and stuff like that or newspaper, oh, Caleb Williams about to get sacked right here. Oh, he escaped. Oh, wow. But he got nothing out of it. He should have thrown the ball away, but he was worried about his stats. Anyways, if it comes to just like, say, if I'm just showing an article for an example, let me show you guys something. Like, say, if I'm just showing you guys, let me give you and um shout out to AJ Rant and Reaction. If I'm just showing a Reddit post, right? Say if I'm just showing a Reddit post like this on one of these blogs or an article. I'm gonna share the screen with you guys. Say if I'm just showing like this and I'm talking and I take my camera out of this and I'm just talking like this, I should be fine. I should be fine. Monetize wise, I should be fine. But we already know that's not like most of my stuff is videos now. Most of my stuff is videos, but YouTube is basically cracking down on those channels where you could just be faceless and then provide social commentary on certain important issues. And I already know what that is. We're like, oh, yeah, we need to detect. We thought your channel was AI, even though I've shown my face on this channel in a quick research. You could just look at my channel and see I've shown my face. So they're just trying to keep track of who's talking about what. That's what they're trying to do. Let's keep it a buck. They're trying to make sure, okay, who's the guy talking about this red pill content, this scary red pill content. And anybody that's been following my channel since 2022, you'll know I've already predicted this was going to happen, that they're just going to blame everything that's going wrong in America on the manosphere and the red pill space. That's what they were going to do. So I already predicted that in 2022, you know. So this is not really surprising to me, but it's still disappointing. Like there's a lot of things that I predict, or that I would predict. And yeah, because you do want to toot your own horn for being right, but you're like, damn, is are people so is the industry so predictable? Are people so predictable where it's like, damn, it's almost like when you listen to a woman talk, right? Or you're on a date or something, and she says she does exactly what you think she's going to do, and you're just like, you just like, and you knew she was going to say that. Eventually, you're just going to be like, damn. I'm like, damn. They're not even going to try to change the playbook up. They're not even trying to change it up. You know, that's what it is, man. Shout out to Thornstar the Fifth, man. Shout out to AKA Trevor. He said, "What's up, fam? Just got back to the States. Time for some football." Yeah, you already know what it is. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna do I gotta show like a replay of my takes. So I did predict, since this is a NFC North matchup with the Vikings and the Bears, I did predict that I said the Packers were gonna win this division, and the Vikings were gonna finish in second, the Bears were gonna finish in third, and no. Did I say the Bears were gonna finish in third? I either said the Detroit Lions was going to finish in third or the Bears were going to finish in third. But I remember predicting the Packers were going to finish first and the Vikings were going to finish second. That was my NFC North prediction. And I think the Bears is going to be the Bears might be a Dolphins situation in waiting. So you see like how what the Dolphins is going through right now. You see, like even like in the last stream when I predicted that the Dolphins were going to finish in last place in their division, and now they're going to do a fire sale basically. Even though they have a pretty decent, they had a pretty decent squad at one point, but unfortunately, inconsistency from their QB position and inconsistency from their coach is going to unfortunately lead to a fire sale for a team that really doesn't you wouldn't think needs a fire sale. So that's what it's and you seeing it with the Dolphins right now. I think the Bears is going to end up in that situation. If Caleb doesn't get it together because he has a stacked team, I mean, I don't know what much more help do you need. And JJ McCarthy is struggling like a motherfucker. Holy, just, just watching this dude. Holy, some of these people, dog. Like, or you look at some of these situations that some of these QBs in. I mean, in perfect situations, and they're still like they're barely they don't get hit no more. So now I just basically watch. Okay, how much? What can you put up numbers wise? What can you do to excite me? And I'm just left disappointed. Tua with all them fast ass ninjas he got on his team struggling, getting concussions. I don't even know how that's possible. With a great play caller struggling. You got these quarterbacks, they come in like Sam Darnold, and he gets a decent play caller, oh sorry, a great play caller for once in his career, and he puts up numbers, and then you got these other people that come in and they struggle. I don't know how that's possible. And Sam Darnold is trash, but he comes in and Aiden O'Connell system and he puts up numbers. And you got these other people. I don't know how. I don't understand how that's possible. But yeah, that was my prediction for the NFC North. So obviously, I will be rooting for the Vikings throughout. Not necessarily just with this game, but just throughout. But I mean, with the Vikings, you got a running game. You got two number one wide receivers. You got a great tight end. I'm not saying I expect JJ McCarthy to be Patrick Mahomes, but I'm looking at what I'm seeing from him right now. I'm not impressed. In a lot of these, especially a lot of these QBs nowadays, because these quarterbacks usually they don't usually what would happen in the past, they wouldn't draft these QBs that came from stacked college teams. They used to draft QBs. It's only up until recently, but they used to draft QBs that came from like small schools that didn't have a whole bunch of help, but still stood out talent wise. Like you get Josh Allen from Wyoming, right? Patrick Mahomes from Texas Tech, um, Lamar Jackson, Louisville. I still don't even understand how he won the Heisman over there. But anyway, right? It's only of recently where they started drafting these quarterbacks so high that came from stacked teams. Like JJ McCarthy came from a stacked team. Um, they drafted him in the first round. Tua came from a stacked, like basically a perfect team. And what's happening is with these cats, they'll come into the NFL to a stacked team and they're still suspect. It boggles my mind. It boggles my mind sometimes. And by the way, um, I don't know who I forgot what his name is. There was somebody in the chat last time that disagreed with me when I said the Dallas Cowboys were tanking. Because I'm like, when you let go of your best player, Micah Parsons, when you let go of a player that massive, a guy that's on a Hall of Fame trajectory, and you just let him go like that because you didn't want to pay him, you're tanking. Like, look, when the Titans let go of Derrick Henry, or they let him move to where he wanted to go, I knew what that was. They're tanking. I was like, oh, we're tanking. Like, it's pretty obvious. We're tanking. But anyways, that was just a sidebar. But like, yeah, these I don't know why they be drafting QBs so high that come from stacked situations. They're like all like yeah, Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, because I don't know why they do that. If I was a GM, I would never draft a QB that came from Ohio State, LSU, outside of Joe Burrow, and like Joe Burrow and what's his face, Jaden Daniels. They're proving the stereotype wrong, but I'm not drafting a QB so high where I'm talking about a QB that came from a stacked college. I'm not drafting him that high if I'm a GM. There's no way. Why would I do that to myself? He doesn't know struggle. He doesn't know what it's like to carry a team. And that's what's going to happen if you get drafted that high. You're going to be drafted into a situation where you're going to have to carry the team. So shouldn't you draft somebody that had to carry their team in college, or that or have some semblance of carrying a team, or something, right? Like I remember when the Dolphins were up. I think yeah, when the Dolphins were up, when they in the I think the 2020 draft. I could be mistaken, but I think it was the 2020 or the 2021 draft. I thought the Dolphins should have drafted Justin Herbert because he Oregon was not the same program, and he was the bright spot of the Oregon program. And Tua was coming from a stacked situation where he was still getting hurt. As much as I got love for Tua, he was still getting hurt, throwing to wide open receivers. And when things got a little bit tough. It got sketchy for him sometimes at Alabama, and he was with the and he had the perfect situation. So I'm not drafting somebody that high that came from a perfect situation. I can't do that. I can't do it. Not that high. So you see how like where Jalen Hurts got drafted. You see how he got drafted in like the second round. Sorry. You see how he got drafted in like the second round. Like that's perfect. Like that. If you got like somebody like that still shows some promise, but he's available in the second round, that's what I would take. Thorne started fifth. Said, "Sorry, Cowboys fans. Jerry only wants to sell tickets. Fans want the trophy." I don't like. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know why Cowboys fans be showing up to these games because it's obvious what Jerry is doing. That's why like you have these sports networks. They be talking about the Cowboys. There's no point in talking about them because we already know what Jerry's trying to do. He's trying to garner attention. He's trying to sell tickets. That's all he cares about. He doesn't care about if they win, because if he did care about if the Cowboys won or not, he would have never fired Jimmy Johnson in the '90s. Who fires a Super Bowl winning head coach? I'm talking about your coach just won the Super Bowl and you fire him. Who does that? Who does that? Only somebody that's an egomaniac would do something crazy like that. So ever since that should be that's the clear message to that should be the clear message to everybody else in the fan base. But you know, the Dallas Cowboy fans are way too loyal to Jerry Jones. Out of like, if I was a Cowboys fan, a Cowboy fan, I would have been boycotted. I would have been boycotted. Oh, and by the way, to the people that are listening, it depends how tired I am tomorrow. It depends how tired I am. I want to do a live stream so bad on this. Let me show you something. Let me show y'all something on Instagram. I want to do a topic. It is right up my alley. It's right up my alley. I want to do a topic so bad that it's undeniably great. There was a post, it went viral a little bit. It went a little bit viral. So let me show y'all this real quick. Let me show y'all this. This is awesome. This is awesome. So this post right here, it went viral a little bit. It made some noise. It made some noise, but this intrigued me. They said never trust females who listen to these two women, and that's Janae Aiko and Kalani, right? I want to do the topic that I want to do is the top red flags in terms of sorry, how about this? The top 10 I want to the top 10 female artists, or I wanted to say maybe top 10 artists in general, because there are some male artists that if a woman listens to this male artist, it's a red flag. But that's kind of where I want to aim at. Artists that pop up in your girl's phone, and if you see it, it's a red flag. And I want to actually dive into depth on why if you see certain artists pop up with your girl, that's a red flag. You can't trust them. Okay, looks like Chicago's running their 2-minute drill. Looks like they're going to just settle for the field goal. Anyways, let me see. But yeah, that's where I want to go. I want to do that. That's right up my alley. This is right up my alley. Right up my alley. And it was interesting when somebody made the post talking about Janae Aiko and Kalani, and the woman in the comment section basically proved why it's a red flag if your girl listens to Kalani or Janae Aiko, specifically Janae Aiko. They proved it. It was hilarious. You should have seen the comments. I saw comments like it was funny, man. You should have seen the comments. The comments were saying stuff like, well, because don't cross us if you listen, because we like basically it was a lot of Janae Aiko listeners talking about there's nothing wrong with us, just don't cross us. And I remember I indulged some people. Sorry, not me. Some people indulged. They were like, "So what do you mean don't cross you? What is that, a threat? What are you trying to do?" And you had these bitches in the comments, the Janae Aiko fans talking about we finna put a vex on people that mess with us. And I'm like, talking about witchcraft and we finna do something we're gonna put a spiritual hoodoo on you, and I'm like, thank you for proving our point. Oh, we gonna do some last time some ninja tried to cross me, I tried to put, I'm like, what is wrong with these people? Thank you for proving our point. On why you shouldn't trust, if a girl, you got a girl that swears by Janae Aiko and these people, these are people that you really shouldn't even be interacting with, let alone sleeping with, right? And then I remember one bitch was talking about, oh, they can't handle how divine we are because she listens to Janae Aiko and Kalani. And I was like, I gave a reply. I was like, what's so divine about a single mammy, which both Kalani and Janae Aiko are, and a confused switch hitter, which Kalani is? And it's like we forget that Kalani, I can't believe how quick we forget. Remember the story I did on Kalani last year where she got caught basically handing over her daughter. First of all, she purposely got pregnant by a openly rainbow dude. This is what she did. She purposely got pregnant. Hold on, let me lower my voice. My bad. She purposely got pregnant by an openly rainbow dude. And then on top of that, try to keep custody from him. And on top of that, kept the daughter, had the daughter, had her daughter around a dude that would, like, her and her daughter got caught up in some sex cult. Remember I covered this story last. I was like, what's this bitch doing with her life? I'm like, you might as well put the daughter under the gay ninja. I was looking at that story. I was just sitting there like, this is Kalani we talking about. I'm like, wow. I was wow. That was funny to me, man. Man. I was sitting there, you know that meme with LeBron James laughing. He took off his glasses and you can see his ball. You can see his bald spot. That's what the story had me doing. That was ridiculous. And I'm like, this is the women y'all swear by. This is the women y'all taking advice. This bit. First of all, when you talking about people like Kalani, that's what she makes music for confused switch hitters that don't know how to make decisions in life. Because that's what Kalani is. She's a confused switch hitter that is a serial cheater. This is what she's been proven to be. And then when you talk about Janae Aiko, she makes music for women that get their heart broken by drug dealers. This is what Janae Aiko makes. This is what she caters her music to. Nothing spiritual about this. But unfortunately, them rock carrying bitches, they really gravitate towards, they really, they how did the Vikings get the ball back? I must have missed that. But anyways, looks like they're going to halftime. But the rock carrying spiritual, psycho, fake spiritual bitches, they really flock to Janae Aiko's music. And if you listen to the lyrics of her songs, you understand why. And the content of her songs. you see why. And I think we should dive into the lyrics of her of her song, and you'll realize why mentally ill rock carrying um bitches love Janae Aiko. And same with Kalani, but we will also go over other artists that will be on the list. It'll be like I don't know if I should do a top 5 or a top 10. A top 10 might be too long because there are some males on that list where I got to put them on there. I got to put them on there. Oh shoot. That's a solid return. But now the Chicago Bears, yeah. Going into halftime, Caleb Williams put up some decent stats, but if you're watching the game, you're not impressed. You gotta see. And JJ McCarthy got to stop playing and give Justin Jefferson the ball. I don't know what he's doing right now. But anyways, it's halftime right now. Chicago Bears 10, Vikings 7, or I think it's the Vikings 6. But this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. I'm talking about on both sides. Both sides. How are the Vikings still in the game? The Vikings are playing terrible. Oh man. Anyway, Thorn Star the Fifth, he says, I stopped looking for logic with the 304s or the nonsense they enjoy. Yeah, if you really look, if you did a deep dive on the stuff that they cater to, and I've talked about this on this channel, there's a specific artist I talked about. I don't want to give too much away, but there's a specific artist I've talked about on this channel, which most of the women around my age, when you're talking about Gen Z, Gen Z that when you're talking about Gen Z born from, how about this, younger millennial and older Gen Z, when you're talking about older Gen Z and younger millennials, this specific artist, I've talked about this specific artist on my channel, and he I don't want to say his name yet, he's the cause of many of the destruction of the mindset of how women look at relationships, how women look at interpersonal relationships, how a woman views sex, all that. One specific artist. And we will I've talked about him on this channel. He goes under the radar for the damage when it comes to the mindset, because music is very influential. The type of music that you listen to, it's very, 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 very influential. Holy. Grossy posse. Right. Oh Lord. My chat just been invaded. Oh Lord, my chat has just been invaded. Lord have mercy. Yikes. My chat just been invaded by the usual suspects. I know. He said, I know y'all come in peace. I know. Oh, Lord have mercy. Shout out to y'all guys. Shout out to Tom Grassi Raid. Yikes. Shout out to you guys, man. My stream just went up to 275 listening. Oh, yeah, we are in halftime for Monday Night Football. He said, gonna subscribe for the soothing voice. Shout out to you guys, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Right now, I haven't been impressed. Well, Caleb Williams, he's one of those guys who's gonna put up good stats, but if you watch the game, ain't it, dog? ain't it, man? But yeah, hopefully I can do that live stream tomorrow when we're talking about music, the music. And we should speak on that. Janae Aiko and Kalani. If your girl listens to Janae Aiko and Kalani, that's a red flag. So we will speak on the music aspect like I did. So anybody that remembers from last year when I went on tour and I talked about the specific male artists, we're gonna go over that again. And we will go over the lyrics when you're talking about Drake, right? When you're talking about T Pain, no disrespect, who I love, right? These people, if you look at their the lyrics that they make, they catered their music to strippers, these type of people. So it's and like I have had many of stories told to me, people that I know personally, but a stripper is asking for a relationship, and it never used to be like that, right? So we will go over that. We will definitely go over that. Wait, hold on for a second. He said neither the Panthers nor the Bears won that. You know what? I don't. I'm gonna give. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. Let me look something up. Let me look something up. Panthers. So you guys play this Sunday. So you guys didn't play on week one. I think we shall see. This is Bryce Young's last chance. This is Bryce Young's last chance. Holy, I don't know where did everybody come from? It's a crossy path. Let's see. Crossy way. Cause I hold on for a second, man. Gonna search something up. Ah, got you. That's where everybody came from. That's where everybody came from. I just wanted to double check. I just wanted to double check. Oh man. Oh yeah, I did while you guys are here, while some of you guys are here, let me go over my predictions that I had for the divisions. So yeah, I had AFC North. I had Packers winning that one, Vikings 2, AFC South, Texans 1, Titans 2, um AFC East, I had Buffalo 1, Patriots 2. AFC West, I had Chiefs 1 and who do I have? I think it was the Chargers. Yeah, I think I had no, it had in the AFC West I had Chargers, sorry, Chiefs 1 and Broncos 2. That's what I had. NFC North, I had NFC North I think I'm messing up. Yeah, NFC North I had Packers 1. Did I say AFC North? My bad. AFC North I had Ravens 1. I said AFC North and I said Packers. My bad. So AFC North I had Ravens 1, Steelers 2. NFC North I had Packers 1, Vikings 2. NFC South I had I think what I had I think Falcons 1 and then Buccaneers 2. I think that's what I had for the NFC South. And then NFC East, I obviously had the Philadelphia Eagles 1 and the Giants 2. That's what I had, the Giants 2. And then NFC West, I had Rams 1 and I don't remember who I had two. I don't remember who I had two, but it wasn't the 49ers. It was not the 49ers. Oh, yeah, it was the Cardinals I had two. But I just remember specifically it wasn't the 49ers. But shout out to you guys, man. Thank you for coming through in the raid. So, okay. Oh, by the way, for the people that don't know, sometimes you have people from the Tom Grassi show. Hold on, let me show his channel. They'll raid people's live streams if they're doing anything similar. So let me show you his channel real quick. Let me see if I'm subscribed. I don't think I'm subscribed, but I've witnessed that. Let me see some. Let me share the tab. So yeah, that's his channel, Tom Grassi. But anyways, man. Oh, but I really wish somebody could the dude that was disagreeing with me with that Dallas trade. I don't know what is this thing with people just being hating on great players. When you have great players like that that get traded or they leave, sometimes people don't understand. Sometimes you'll have a Derrick Henry, right? Because I'm a Titans fan. He served us well. So we basically allowed him to leave. We massively underpaid him throughout his career. So we let him basically pick where he wanted to go. I think we let Ravens picked him up in free agency, so we let him go, and we let him pick where he wanted to go. Right. So you'll have stuff like that happen, but in a trade situation, when you trade away your best player, that's one of the major signs of a team that's tanking. And twice Dallas has been in the middle of doing something stupid like this, where with the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA, you trade Luka for some mysterious reason. And I'm talking about there's people that I love that are subscribed to my channel that was saying that Dallas won the trade and Dallas was going to make the playoffs. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? You just traded away the best player ever in your franchise. When I'm talking about Luka Doncic, right? But some people, they oh God. Some players you just don't trade, man. You can't, I'm sorry, how about this? There's certain players you don't just give up and you just give away. Like for Micah Parsons, I'm not letting go of a future Hall of Famer like a Micah Parsons for 2 first rounders. That's not going to mean anything. 2 first rounders and a goddamn 2 first rounders and Kenny Clark. Nah, I need more than that. I need way more than that. Absolutely not. I need way more than that. I'm not giving up Micah Parsons for Kenny Clark and 2 first rounders. Those 2 first rounders are not going to mean nothing because the Packers are going to be making deep playoff runs. Those first round is going to be first pick number 28 in the first round, pick 29, maybe pick 32. What the hell is that? What use is that pick? What use is that pick? Especially if you're a team like the Cowboys. What use is that pick gonna do to you for you? It's not gonna do nothing, man. God damn. Shout out to Vapor, man. Thank you, man. Thorn started fifth, aka Trevor. He said they let Luka go, then raised the ticket prices. Outlet. That was wild to me. That was wild. They raised the ticket prices too. I remember. I'm like, people still showed up. That's why some of these fans I can't take seriously. I'm not showing up. If I'm like a fan of this team, you need to you got to boycott something like that. But technically, boycotting isn't going to do much. But you gotta stand for something. If your GM or your owner does you dirty like that, like you gotta stand for something. You gotta stand for something. But shout out to Tom Grassi's channel, man. Shout out. That's crazy work. that came out of nowhere. For a minute there, I thought that was Warband, but I I'm like, wait, that's way more than Warband. I was like, wait, I'm seeing Grassy Raid. I was like, oh, okay. At first, like I thought that was the Warband. I thought Warband just rated my chat like they do sometimes. Shout out, wow! So shout out to George Fiend from Guatemala. Shout out, yeah. I got. I remember this one dude from Denmark was saying what's up to me from this dude August. He's hailing from Denmark. So yeah, there's a lot of people from around the country that hail. And halftime's over. Bears and Vikings are back on, and Caleb Williams misplaces another easy pass. You should have seen. Oh, you should have seen the coach. You should have seen Ben Johnson going in the tunnel. Ben Johnson was mad as Ben Johnson was mad as hell, dog. Dude, look, Caleb Williams he better get himself together this year. Because Ben Johnson, he don't look like he's playing. It doesn't look like he's playing. Yeah, so he started the game 10 for 10 for 86 yards. And I wasn't really impressed because the game was still close. And I was telling you guys, I'm like, I'm still not impressed with Caleb Williams. He needs to show me more. Another misplaced pass. Oh, man. Look, it's no disrespect to Caleb Williams. It's no disrespect. It's just I'm looking at the Chicago with the Chicago QB situation. It's like, wow. I don't think they're ever going to get that position right. I don't think they are. And people might think I'm overreacting, but I haven't been impressed with Caleb. He seems more. He's more. He wants to look after his numbers more than he actually wants to do. You see, this is that shit I don't like. You missed it. So it was 3rd and 10. I hate it when QBs like this do this shit. They will f up the first two downs. They'll fuck up, right? Sorry for the profanity and all of that stuff. They'll mess up. First 2 plays they'll mess up. Then 3rd down they want to check it down for their completion percentage when they're feeling the pressure. This is why I always gave grace to guys like Cam Newton, Andrew Luck, right? I don't know who else I can name. They even though they shouldn't have been doing that, it'll be 3rd and long, 3rd and whatever, but specifically 3rd and long, where they probably should check it down. They really be trying to push the chains at all times. So that's why you can't always go by completion percentage. That could be a little bit misleading because sometimes you're dealing with a lot of really selfish quarterbacks. They'll mess up the first 2 throws, and then for their completion percentage, they try to check it down and act like they were really trying to move the chains and try to keep things intact. But they really weren't. They weren't really looking downfield to try to keep the chains moving. Right? Turnover. Well, not turnover. But yeah, JJ McCarthy's been looking really bad. And I know the Chicago defense has been pretty good, but they haven't. I expected more from the offenses from these 2 teams. I expected way more. I expected way more. JJ McCarthy has been pretty underwhelming, but so has Caleb Williams. I like with JJ McCarthy. Like the reason why I have the Vikings going 2nd in the division, right? And still somehow finishing 2nd. The reason why I have that is for the coach, McConnell. I hope I'm saying his name right. For him to make the waves that he did last year, specifically with Sam Darnold, I was just assuming that, you know what? Look, JJ McCarthy, he's a young QB. Surely he has to be a little bit better than Sam Darnold. Surely, you know, I didn't really watch a whole lot of JJ McCarthy um in terms of college. I do remember he was a 5-star QB coming into college. He didn't have to do much with Michigan, which is concerning. That concerns me. When you have these QBs that coming in, they didn't really have to do much, but yet they still get highly ranked. I don't know, I don't know why that is, right? But still, I figured I'm like, surely he can be he's around the Sam Darnold talent margin a little bit better. And surely with a young, fresh QB, he can make the same, he can have the same results. And then on top of that, I feel like with the Detroit Lions, I think the Detroit Lions are not going to make the same waves. I think the Detroit Lions are on the decline. Believe it or not, no disrespect. And I think that I had a feeling with Chicago. I think Chicago's going to disappoint. And that's an interception by JJ McCarthy. And that's going to be a pick six. Like the Bears are going to win today's game. Obviously, it's going to be close, but it's going to be a bit misleading. It's going to be a bit misleading. They're going to, but the way JJ McCarthy's playing, I mean, damn. I expected more, man. I expected more from JJ McCarthy. I know it's the first game, but when it comes to QBs like that come from stacked situations, and then they get drafted super high to be the missing piece to a stacked team in the NFL, usually they become down the line, they become disappointed. Like, oh yeah, Mac Jones is another example. Mac Jones. Mac Jones came from a stacked ass Alabama team, right? Goes into the Patriots, decent coaching situation. He does decent the first year, but doesn't do better than the first year, which is sad, which is pretty sad. Anyways, hold on. Thorn Starfish says, sounds like it's all on defense. Offense is stagnant. Yeah, and right now, Chicago Bears with a pick six. So now 16-6. Yeah, the Bears. People are going to talk about, oh, the Bears defense are decent. Yeah, but the Vikings have been massively underwhelming. And people are going to be like, well, Sam Darnold must have been pretty good. Or maybe I'll just say it like this. Two things can be true. Because they let go of Sam Darnold because they believed in JJ McCarthy. And for them to make a move like that, I'm just assuming that JJ McCarthy has talent. I'm just assuming that he has talent. But those, like guys like that, they get drafted so high and they already came from stacked situations in college that you can't trust people like that. The Trevor Lawrences of the world, right? The Tua Tagovailoas of the world. It's rare that you have a Joe Burrow or um a Joe Burrow situation, Jaden Daniels situation, and we'll see when it comes to CJ Stroud. We'll see because he's been struggling for the last now 2 years now. He's still not himself. He's still not himself. His rookie year was incredible. The second best rookie QB season I've seen from a QB ever, right? So it's really only two where you can say, okay, these two players, they came from a stacked situation in college. We're going to draft them up high as well. And how about this? But yeah, especially with, I'll say this specifically with a Trevor Lawrence. That's not. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry with the sneeze, but that's not. Eventually, the Jaguars, they're gonna have to move on from Trevor Lawrence. No disrespect. And JJ McCarthy, he's really struggling out there. Me personally, I don't think guys. I don't see how a guy like. I just don't see with a squad that the Vikings have that a second year QB, because even though yes it's his first year starting as a QB, it's still his second year. He had a year to sit and see Sam Darnold play. He had a year to see to know the offense, and he looks terrible. JJ McCarthy looks terrible. He had a year to sit. And he looks terrible, dog. He looks terrible. You know what? JJ McCarthy right now, he reminds me of. Remember the Vikings QB? Do y'all remember Christian Ponder? Y'all, who in this chat remember Christian Ponder? Hit a one in the chat if y'all remember Christian Ponder. I just and then with the play caller like McConnell in your ear, come on, there's no way you should be struggling. And you got a running game, and you got two number one wide receivers, and one of the wide receivers is the best wide receiver in the league. In Justin Jefferson, best wide receiver in the league, hands down. What? And you struggling? How? Nah, no excuses, dog. We gotta start holding like trash ass QBs accountable. We have to. Yeah. Shout out to Garrett Grant. That's a sack. That's a sack. That's another sack. Yeah. Christian Ponder. Yeah. People, man, I be remembering these people, dog. But that's what JJ like, but Christian Ponder, what round was he drafted? I forgot where he was drafted. Christian Ponder, where when was he drafted? Yeah, 12th, 12th overall. Yeah, same situation. Yeah, that's why I brought him up. Basically same situation. Drafted first round, 12th pick. But really his job Ninja, your job at the end of the day, he was at his best when he just handed the ball off. That's when Christian Ponder was at his best, when he handed the ball off. That's what you're supposed to do. Hand the ball off. Yep, JJ getting his ass whooped. I'm watching the game as we speak. Trash. Because I'm sorry, we got to start holding these QBs accountable. We got to start. I mean, how long are we going to blame the offensive line, the running game? Of course, they're keying in on the running game because your QB sucks. Always blame them, like, and I'm sorry. I think he deserves the criticism. You come into the Vikings, they're stacked. You have a great play call. He has it. JJ McCarthy has it. What most QBs dreamed of having it. He misses the first year due to injury. It's whatever, but you sit for a year. They get rid of Sam Darnold, who had MVP numbers last year. Let's keep it real. He had MVP numbers. He had MVP type numbers. They got rid of him, so you didn't have to feel no pressure. Which is the way they be babying these QBs in the NFL. It's beyond me, right? They get rid of Sam Darnold, so you don't feel no pressure. this is how they be babying these American quarterbacks, these American football players, particularly the American quarterbacks. They get rid of Sam Darnold. They keep all the same pieces. They keep all the same pieces. You still have the same. You still got your offensive play caller, McConnell, who's still running the show as the coach. And I'm looking at how you playing, dog, and I'm talking about he's not showing no flashes. He ain't showing no. I'm talking about JJ McCarthy ain't showing no flashes. You're just like, damn. Because I will say this: when JJ McCarthy got drafted, it was weird because usually, like, when certain players from your university, right, they get drafted, you'll have the university alumni or the fans of the university. They'll brag. They'll be like, "Yeah, shout out to our player getting drafted." But I remember when JJ McCarthy got drafted to the Vikings. It was Michigan fans like, I think they went too high. I'm talking about they're fresh off of a national championship. Fresh off of a national championship. Then JJ McCarthy gets drafted. You would have think they would have been bragging. It was Michigan fans like, yeah, I think that's a little bit too high for JJ. And that was concerning. But I was like, you know what? We'll trust the Vikings on this one. Have at thee. Shout out to Eli McCrae. He says, hi. Eli, are you a first timer on this channel? Shout out to you. But we got to start holding some of these QBs accountable. He has a dream scenario. And people will say, Chris, it's only game one. It's only game one. Look, man, at the end of the day, my first sport, I'm a soccer fan, right? That's my first sport. I'm used to seeing 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds making their debut fresh off academy and having to do like assignments. I'm talking about they got to put in work. I'm talking about dude's 17 years old. He's a defender and he's got to guard like the best winger in the world because the defender tore his ACL. So he's got to fill in. And if he doesn't play well, he's gone. That's it. But in the NFL, what they do in the NFL, it's certain positions that get babied, specifically the QB position, and I'm not having it. I need to see a flash. I need to see, even if you're trash. Sorry, not trash. Even if you're struggling, I need to see something. I need to see something, right? I'm not in the excuse making business, man. Yeah, you should be fired. In my opinion, yeah, that's me too. Yeah, Thorne started 50. Said game one, you should be on fire out there. Especially the teams don't even have no game film on you. Like I know people to be like, like it'll be a lot of players that do well on their debut games. I'm like, well, of course they're gonna do well. They don't really have film. They don't really have professional film on you. So you should be doing fairly decent on your debuts. Like Baker did well on his debut. Justin Herbert did decent. Patrick Mahomes was on fire, right? I mean, JJ McCarthy had all the time in the world, and he looks like Christian Ponder, dog. You got anybody that's not watching the game right now. Obviously, I can't show the game. We're on YouTube. Anybody that's please sign up for ESPN or something. Watch the game. NM Goat. Shout out to you. Yeah, he said, can you give me a shout out on NM Goat? Let me see on your YouTube channel. I can give you a shout out here. So shout out to you, NM Goat. Let me search up. Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have a? Let me see, NM Goat. But shout out to NM Goat for tuning in. Shout out to NM Goat. Oh, you do have a YouTube. Oh, I see your YouTube channel. So shout out. Let me put his YouTube channel up here. Let me share his YouTube channel. So shout out to NM Goat. Let me put his YouTube channel on the screen. So shout out to NM Goat. Shout out to NM Go. I will look before I subscribe though. Before I subscribe, I'm gonna look at your content before I subscribe. I gotta see what we're dealing with. Wait, hold on. How old are you, dude? How wait, NM Go. Put the age. How old are you? Hold on for a sec. I think this is a kid. Let me see something. How old is NM Go? 13. Okay. NM Go. I'm gonna give you a subscribe. I'm gonna give you a subscribe. But bro, you gotta go to bed, dog. You gotta go to bed. One thing I will tell you, young man, I know the adults, they might be tripping over the going to bed situation, but trust me, sleep. You need during that age frame, you got to make sure you get your sleep, get your naps in, and all that ish. But I will give you a subscribe. So shout out to NM Go. This is a 13-year-old. He's trying to make it big. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep making content. Do as much content as you can. This is the perfect time to grow, to do your thing. So keep. This is the perfect man. This is the perfect time to do YouTube. And no, you're not too young to do YouTube, but go to bed. Please go to bed. you gotta go to bed, man. But keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. Let's see what he is. It's mostly. Let's see what he has. Let me see what he has in terms of NFL content. Let's see what he has.
If your knee pops back like this,
Bruh. Wait, I don't think I can show NFL. Let me not show NFL content, or they're gonna put a strike on my channel. But yeah, give him a go. Give him a go, chat. NM Goat, 13 years old. 13 years old. Shout out to you. Keep doing your thing, man. Keep making videos. Keep making content. That's the only advice I can give you. Just keep making content and always look for improvement. Always look for how can I improve my channel. Also look at other platforms outside of YouTube if possible. Look if you can do Kick. Look if you can do your Twitch and stuff like that. So shout out to you. Keep making content. Just keep making content. Just keep making content. By the time you're 18, 18 might seem really far from 13, but if you just keep making content, by the time you're 16, you're looking at significant progress. If you just for the next 2 to 3 years, you just keep putting content out. Just keep putting content out. And always look to improve. Always look to improve. I just naturally have that in me only because I play instruments, so I never think I play well. I never think I play well. So I just already naturally have it in me to always just I gotta improve. I gotta improve this, I gotta improve that. Like since I gotta show my face again, like now I gotta I'm thinking about adding a green screen to see how that works. But you were like, I'll say this. Yeah, shout out to you. NM Go said, thanks you for the advice. Yeah, shout out to you, man. No, and it ain't no thing. But shout out. Just man, just keep making content. And I'll say this, you're ahead of schedule. But when you're ahead of schedule, don't be stagnant. Don't be stagnant. If you ahead of schedule, take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. If you're ahead of schedule, take advantage. Don't think, okay, I'm ahead of schedule. If you're ahead of schedule, that's where you got to go harder. When you have an advantage, you got to go harder. That's how it works. But back to football. back to football. I will check out more of your content, though. I will check out more of your content. I got, I had to exit out only because, first of all, the music, because of the copyright situation, and I gotta be careful with showing NFL images. I remember I showed like one NFL image on one of my videos, and the NFL copyright system picked it up immediately, and they were on my ass like flies on shit. Is that a fumble? Oh no, they trying to make it look like it's a fumble. The Vikings, they look so pedestrian now. Now they don't got JJ McCarthy. He looks so underwhelming, man. He looks so underwhelming. Oh my god, these people, dog. Jesus. Yeah, Christian Ponder. That's a name that JJ McCarthy out there playing like Christian Ponder. What pick in the first round did JJ McCarthy get? I would have sworn he was a top 10 pick. I would have sworn he was like the 10th pick specifically. Yep, 10th overall. 10th overall. But Chris, he's still young. I need to see better. I need to see better. He's in the perfect situation. He's in the perfect situation. I need to see better. I need to see better. Especially now with the QBs now. They have these people training since middle school, high school, training damn near every day. They give them all the advantages in the world that the QBs that I saw growing up did not have. They have it basically catered to where the QBs can put up some numbers. And especially when I see a guy like a JJ McCarthy, they come in, has had everything given to him, no disrespect, and they not putting up numbers, I'm gonna go hard on him. The JJ McCarthys of the world, the Trevor Lawrences of the world, I'm talking about when they had everything given to them, right? Justin Herbert to a lesser extent, because with Oregon, when he was on Oregon, he had to carry that team. He had to carry that team. But in terms of when he went to the Chargers, that was still a decent situation. He still had a couple wide receivers that he was working with. He had a decent team. He had a decent team when he was working with. I just think they fired their first head coach too soon. I forgot what his name. I forgot what his name was. They fired their first the first head coach that he came in with. I think they fired him too soon. But he came into a stable situation, right? Tua Tagovailoa, everything given to him. Goes to Alabama, and I'm talking about. Imagine you go to Alabama, and these are your. I'm talking about these are your wide receivers. I think no. When Tua came in, and I'm talking about his first when he comes in. I'm not going to count the first year when he won the national championship when he got subbed in late. I'm not going to count that because he had a little bit of different set of wide receivers. That's when we're talking about when Calvin Ridley was still there, right? And yeah, Devontae Smith was a freshman. I'm talking about when he became full-time starter. Yeah, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, Waddle, and Jerry Jeudy as your wide receivers. These are your top 4 wide receivers you coming in with. And you have a running game. You have Najee Harris. I mean, how much more help? And then Damian coming out your backfield as well. I mean, how much more help do you need? Yeah, that's damn near a perfect team, bro. You come in every other game with Alabama. You got the best offensive lineman. You have the biggest offensive lineman, not necessarily the best, but the biggest coming from the SEC. I mean, and then you can't draft QBs that came into situations like that. You cannot draft them that high. They never struggled. That's why it still boggles my mind that Shador Sanders was drafted only up all the way until the 5th round. It still boggles my mind. I mean, he went through a real gauntlet. HBCU for umpteenth years, and then he goes to Colorado, which is still a small school. Yeah, he was throwing it to Travis Hunter, but he was spreading the wealth. All the a lot of the wide receivers he was working with, they got drafted because he was spreading the wealth. And Colorado is still it's a well-known school, but it's one of those schools where if a QB does well over there, that should be that should be worth that should be worth something because it's Colorado still at the end of the day. NM Goat said, I was watching Tom Grassi and he gave you a shout out and saw your channel. And thank you. Yeah, shout out to Tom Grassi. I don't know when but usually I don't know. He usually does stuff like that. He usually does stuff like that. And by the way, my channel is not is not mainly a sports channel. So that's why I would always tell you, I would tell you, yeah, keep your channel. If you keep your channel sports related, you'll be fine as well. Just keep it like sports and entertainment, jokes type channel. Yeah. Because my channel's my channel's got all types of crazy stuff on there. I'm not gonna lie. But if you keep your channel exactly like it is, just sports, jokes, trolling, you'll be fine. Caleb Williams just ran for a first down. I'll say this: if I was a wide receiver, I would not want to play with Caleb. No disrespect, neither JJ McCarthy from the looks of it right here. This dude be holding the ball way too long, trying to make, make something out of nothing, right? But in a bad way. You do want to have a QB that can make something out of nothing, but he makes nothing out of nothing, if that makes sense. He sees things that are not there. Where if all he has to do is really just stay on script and he'll be fine. When you look at, I take Lamar Jackson for an example. His growth, specifically when Todd Monken became the offensive coordinator. What I love about Lamar Jackson now, he plays exactly what the defense gives him. He'll make his first read, doesn't see it, dumps it off. You keep knocking it, you keep spreading it. Somebody's going to cheat. Once they cheat, then you attack. You keep knocking it. You keep knocking it. You keep spreading the wealth. They're going to cheat. Somebody else is going to cheat. Boom. That's how Tom Brady was successful for how many years? You keep spreading the wealth. You keep knocking it. You check it down. Eventually, somebody's going to cheat. And this is why it's also good to have a team that establishes the running game early. People want to act like running backs don't matter and your running game don't matter, right? This is why you need to establish the running game early so it's easier to spread the wealth. It simplifies the defense that the QB is looking at. The better you run the football, the simpler the defense comes. The simpler it becomes reading the defense. because they're going to start cheating at the line of scrimmage, and it simplifies the offense. It opens up the offense for the OC, and not just for the OC, but also for the QB. But even though football's not my first sport, it's crazy how we've forgotten the basics in favor of, oh, I just want to see the quarterback just pass it all the way around. I want to see the quarterback pass it 50 to 60 times, where you could avoid all of that by just running the damn ball. You had this clown, what's his name on ESPN? What's that dude with the crazy haircut? What's his name? I'm blanking on his name right now. He has like a crazy haircut, and he be talking about draft day and stuff. I'm blanking on his name. I don't know why I'm blanking. It's the guy with the crazy. He got that. I'm not talking about Stephen A. Smith. I'm talking about the white dude with the hair. He's known for like draft. Yeah, Mel Kiper. I'm blanking. I don't know why I was blanking on his name. Mel Kiper. Remember what he was talking about last year, where he was just like that the NFL should get rid of teams playing too high safeties. I was like, what? They should. I'm like, you telling me they should get rid of a defense? Because why? Because you can't pass against two high safeties. I'm like, you know what could help you? They're playing two high safeties. If you run the damn ball, then you got a safety that's got to come out of his position. Maybe if you run the damn ball, you won't have to be looking at too high all every other time. But since you want to pass it basically every play, of course I'm going to play too high. Oh yeah, we should get. I couldn't believe Mel Kiper said this. Let me see if I can find that clip of Mel Kiper saying this. I was like, this guy's a clown. Let me switch. I don't know why. Here we go. Mel Kiper says safeties. Too high safety. Let me see. Too high safeties. Yeah, he said he wanted to ban too high safeties. I cannot believe he said that on a show. Damn. Caleb overthrew Komet by like like Caleb overthrew Komet by like a country mile. And this is the nonsense. This is the stuff that Tom Brady was talking about, just the basics. The basics. A lot of the QBs coming in, they don't got the basics coming in. Let me see if I don't know if I can find the official clip. But this is what I was talking about. I'm about to show you this. Let me show the team here. Okay, Caleb Williams, he avoids. Yeah, Caleb Williams is wild, dog. This ninja. He trips on his own self trying to make something out of nothing. God. Anyways, this guy. But he really said that. He said he said the NFL should ban too high safeties because teams struggle passing against too high safeties. I'm like, well, maybe if you ran the ball and stop saying running backs don't matter with that nonsense. And also, let me give. I mean, God. Thank you, Garrett. This is why I loved watching the Eagles last year. This is why. Hold on. Let me say some real shit right here. Let me take my glasses off when I say this. Let me take my glasses off when I say this. This is some real shit right here. This is why I loved watching the Eagles last year. This is why I loved watching them. And the Ravens, mind you, but Eagles specifically, you run the ball. You run the ball. You establish the run. This is why the 49ers were at first they were successful, but they stopped doing that. Only because Brock Purdy's a little bit limited, but that's beside the point. You run the ball. You give the ball specifically if your running back is the best player on your team, you run the ball through him. They have Eagles have the best offensive line in the league. Saquon Barkley was literally leaving the worst offensive line in the league, and you had clowns like Nick Wright, who I love. He's my favorite clown to watch. Don't at me, right? I love Nick Wright though. I love Nick Wright, but you had guys like Nick Wright talking about Derrick Henry wasn't going to make an impact. He said that Saquon Barkley was going to make no impact on the Eagles, right? Guys, your running game matters. The best offensive coordinators in the league, the reason why they're successful is because they run the ball. They establish the run. They establish the offensive line, the trenches. Why were the Packers successful yesterday? They run the ball. Run the ball. Who you have at running back matters, or the depth of your running back position. It matters. It matters. Running matters. That whole narrative that they've been trying to run for all these years is they GMs and NFL aficionados, they allowed this because they didn't really want to pay running backs. That's really what it is. They don't want to pay running backs what they're worth. So they ran with that narrative that running backs don't matter and you don't need to pay running backs. And that's really what it is. They don't want to pay running backs. But this is why I love watching the Eagles. You establish the run. You simplify the defense, especially if you have a mobile quarterback. Now you simplify the defense. Now you have your wide receivers, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. All they got to now, most of the stuff, bump and run. Bump and run. Most of it, press, man press coverage. No crazy zones and different types of blitz schemes that they got to work. They got to press the line of scrimmage, which leaves A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith 1v1. And all Jalen Hurts has to do is just throw it up. All he has to do is throw it up. Why? Because they run the ball. Run the ball. Damn. Getting tired of this shit. The best offensive coordinators in the league, they run the ball. LaFleur runs the ball. Kyle Shanahan runs the ball. Run the ball. Damn. It's so simple. But people don't want to do this. People don't want to do this. Reason why the Ravens get knocked out of the playoffs every other year is when they stop running the ball. Run the ball. Please run the ball. Run the ball, please. All right? This is getting ridiculous. Run the ball. And I think the Bears just missed their field goal, if I'm not mistaken. But this is why the Eagles were successful. You already had a great offensive line, and they were able to get the best running back in the league. You know, they were trying to run with that narrative that Christian McCaffrey was the best running back in the league. I'm like, y'all don't understand. With Barkley now running with basically the best offensive line in the league, I'm like, he's going to be putting up numbers. Because anybody that I watched Barkley when he was at the Giants, he had no offensive line, dog. The run blocking for the Giants was basically non-existent. I'm talking about ever since he was a rookie. Ever since he was a rookie, the Giants had no offensive line, and people were worried about injuries. I'm like, he has injuries because he has no offensive line. It's very simple. Run the ball. Establish the run. Establish the run. Now, there's more into it than just getting your star running back. You really need to establish your offensive line, and you need to establish like that's like we run first. When you look, even when you look at Aaron Rodgers, the numbers that he put up, but people don't understand those numbers that he put up with those touchdowns, and when he got the MVP in which year was this? Okay, you see now the Vikings, they're establishing the run now. Now they're looking better. They're establishing the run. Now they're looking better. Now their play action is coming free. Now Justin Jefferson is touching the football right now. But damn, I forgot what I was just talking about. I just saw a really good play action play with the Vikings. Because now they're cooking with the Vikings are cooking with the running game. Now they're cooking. Now we're getting Justin Jefferson the ball. Now we're finding Justin Jefferson with the ball. You establish the run, man. Just establish the run. That's it. Establish the run, man. All the best offensive coordinators in the league, they establish the run. That's how you win. That's how you win consistently. Or even so, when your top running back goes down, because it's already engraved in the culture of the team of running the football, it's already part of your identity. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Aaron Rodgers, the MVP numbers, the MVP numbers he put up. It was because the offense was really being ran through Aaron Jones. When we talk about running it and passing it, I'm talking about running it and passing it. Aaron Jones, he could run it and he could catch it. So that offense was really being ran through Aaron Jones at the time. So under LaFleur's offense, Aaron Jones, they always was handing it off to him. So when it came to goal line situations, when it came to first and goal, second and goal, right, etc., third and goal, or second and goal, third and goal, when it's like right next to the goal line, they would just play action out of it because they established a run. Oh, that was a dart. I'm not gonna lie. He just threw a dart to Justin Jefferson. Holy. Justin Jefferson. Vikings 12. Bears 17. Justin Jefferson with a 13-yard reception touchdown. But that's why Aaron Rodgers had all those touchdowns in the red zone, because they established the run and they play actioned a lot. When red zone situations came up, or first and goal, second goal situations came up, they play actioned a lot, and Devontae Adams would be wide open, or one of the receivers would be open. That's what happens when you establish the run. It opens up the playbook. Oh Lord. JJ McCarthy wild for trying something like that. He's wild for that. Flag thrown on the 2-point conversion play. Let's see which way they call it. By the way, you know what? Damn, they called it on Chicago. So I think they called it on Chicago. So they're gonna do goal line offense right there. They're taking Justin Jefferson now. So yeah, they're running it. So the 2-point attempt is now going to basically be at the 1-yard line. The 2-point attempt right now is at the 1-yard line. Yeah, he gives it to the tight end. Oh, he falls short. Tight end falls short. 2-point conversion failed. Also, another thing, when he's talking about establishing the run, I remember Aaron Rodgers was talking about something that The QB, what's that dude's name? Josh Rosen. He didn't take the advice. Remember when Aaron Rodgers and Josh Rosen they did like a show together? They did like an episode together where Aaron Rodgers was giving him advice, where he was giving him a quick tip about his drop steps, right? And really selling the run and not making your steps predictable. Because sometimes you'll have defenders, they'll count your steps to see, the linemen, they think these linemen are just some dumb just rushing the QBs. No, you got some defensive linemen right here that they will count your steps and they can tell when you finna do a play action, when you finna run, or you finna drop back. If you're gonna drop back and pass it short, right? There's some people that count your steps, so you gotta how you drop back. You can't be too predictable. You either got to keep doing it the same way every single time, or make a routine. So I remember he was trying to give Josh Rosen tips on how he dropped back, and I knew what he would, because it wasn't just about his drop backs. It was just about also him selling the run, right? Or if he's about to hand it off, even if you hand it off, the way you hand it off, or the way you drop back, you can give the running back more leverage by handing it off a certain way where they think it's going to be a play action, and you can give your running back more leverage like that. And so basically he was talking about how a lot of your success as a quarterback comes from how you drop. And it might be something simple like that, but clearly Josh Rosen, he didn't take that advice. It's the simple things, man. Some of the best, I'll say this, when it comes to taking people's advice, or you like, don't ever, just because somebody's doing something a little bit different than you doesn't mean. I'll give you an example. I got better, I'm talking about recently, at soccer I'm talking about specifically with my touches, just by listening to Barry Bonds. And people be like, how the hell did Barry Bonds help you become better at soccer? He was talking about hitting 100-mile-per-hour fastballs, and the confidence, as he was talking about. He said, I can hit one. I don't care how fast you throw it. There's a catcher behind home plate, and he catches it. All I did was switch the catcher glove to the bat. Boom, boom, right? And people are like, oh, no, he's on roids and all this stuff. And then I really thought about it. And I want you guys to do this. I want you guys, if you guys know anybody with a batter's cage, I want you guys to try to hit a fastball. Or if you can put it at 100, I don't know if you can put it at 100 miles per hour. Try put it at 80 miles per hour. Put it at 90 miles per hour and try to hit a baseball with whatever bat that you can find. Try to hit a baseball. That is just gonna humble you, bro. And then I took that advice that he was talking about, and I realized, I'm like, hold on. If these baseball players can hit these 100-mile fastballs and they can't even see the ball, how the hell can I ever struggle with my touch ever again? As a soccer player with the ball this big, and I'm using my feet. And it really hit me. And I was like, oh, now it's my touch. I've always had a decent touch, but I'm just saying, like, now is not. Now, when I see the ball, I'm not afraid of it. There's no way. There's no ball too difficult to control for me. There's no ball that I see now when I'm playing soccer. Now I be screaming at people like, bro, don't let the ball bounce. Especially if you're playing on turf. If you're playing on turf, there should be no reason you should have a problem controlling the ball. There's no way. If you're playing on turf, it's the surface might be hard to play on per se, but in terms of controlling it, you don't got to worry about the pitches being bumped. It's turf. When the ball comes in the air, don't let it bounce. That's what I was told when I was a kid. And sometimes I would struggle with that because I'm like, damn, I want to let it bounce one time before I take it. And now I don't. And I'm talking about this is recent. Recent. I'm talking about when I this is I took this advice last what would that be 2020 no 2023 seems like yesterday, but I remember seeing that in 2023 and I realized I'm like, wait a minute, because I remember, because you guys got to see, like, because you got to see it with one of these baseball pitching machines, and I'm like, how in the hell are these batters even seeing the ball? Like, hitting a baseball's got to be the hardest thing to do in terms of sports. It's got to be the hardest thing to do because these pitchers, they throwing 100 miles, they throwing 90 plus minimum. Especially these new pitchers, they don't even the new pitchers now, they don't even tell them. They don't talk, like, they just tell them throw as hard as you can. They don't care what kind of damage. They just tell these new pitchers, they just tell them just throw it as hard as you can. Forget the placement. They just tell them just throw as hard as you can now. That's what they tell these pitchers now. Forget just the technique. They just tell them, hey, you got these pitchers now, they're throwing like splitters and you're like they're throwing splitters at they're throwing splitters at 90 plus, like 97 mile per hour splitters. That's impossible. Like, I don't even know. I'm like, how are you even hitting that? So I took that advice and I was just like, oh, controlling a ball is nothing compared to what these baseball players have to do. So shout out to Garrett Grant. He said hitting a baseball is harder than people think, especially off-speed pitches. Even the I see when he's talking about the off-speed pitches, the 75 mile per hour to 80 mile per hour knuckleball, or what was it, these curveballs, those off-speed curveballs, knuckleballs that are not 90 plus, right? They're around the 80 mile per hour mark, the 75, even some 75 mile per hour off ball pitches. Even those are hard to hit. Even those. You get like that's the hardest thing to do, is to hit a baseball. That is the hardest. Like, go in a batting cage. That will humble you. I'm telling you, that will humble you. Going into a batting cage will humble you, dog. It's you think you something until you go into that batting cage. I'll say this. I'll take it a step further. A lot of I'll say the average man probably can't even hit like a softball, like a female softball pitcher's pitch. They would, because I've seen ninjas come in there thinking they finna hit a ball off a female softball pitcher and they be striking out. I'm talking about hitting a baseball. That's skill. That requires skill. That is like baseball. That is a skill sport. You can't fake your way. You can't fake it until you make it. When it comes to baseball, you can't do that. That's a one sport. Like with every other sports, you'll have some posers make it far because they have parents, or they know the coaches. When it comes to baseball, you can't fake it until you make it. That is a skill sport right there. You need skills. you need skills, dog. I'm talking about, when you talking about baseball, if you're playing a sport where you can make it into the Hall of Fame by hitting 30%, by hitting the 30%, by hitting the 30% mark, and you can make, and they consider you an elite player, and you hit the 30% mark when it comes to hitting a ball, That's that's a hard sport. That's a hard sport. That wow. But I took that logic and then took it with soccer, and I'm like, how in the hell are people miscontrolling their balls? There's no way. So there's no pass that I can't control. And maybe it's just a switch in mentality. It's not even really a switch in technique for me. It's really just a switch in mentality. Any ball I see in the air, I can catch it with my feet. That's how I look at it. I'm just using my feet to catch it. And how why can't I catch it with my feet? You know? Why can't I? I'm just catching it, but with my feet. Any ball I see in the air, it's nothing to me. It's nothing to me. Especially when you look at the pitches that these hitters got to hit. Like that's crazy. You gotta look at it in person. Because I done seen some of the I'm talking about college pitchers. I'm looking at them like I'm at the batting cage. I'm looking at them throwing it. And I'm like, how? How can you hit that? And it's you feel how well pause. But if you if you feel if you like when you're hitting it, sorry, when you're feeling the bat and you feel how heavy the bat is, you're just like, how the fuck are they hitting these 100? I'm talking about these. You got pitchers now. They hitting 100. It's impossible. It's impossible. Oh, by the way, shout out to I'll say the breakout star in the MLB right now. Well, not breakout star per se, but I'll say Junior Caminero from the Tampa Bay Rays. I've been watching the Tampa Bay Rays, and because my eyes have been on the Tampa Bay Rays this year. Oh, one of the DBs for the Chicago Bears. I think he messed his knee up. Nasun Wright. No, what's his name? Nashawn Wright. Oh, yo, Garrett Grant. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but oh, Jesus Christ. I just saw McCarthy get hit late, but one of the DVs was holding the wide receivers. But anyway, I saw Coach Greg Adams stream earlier today. I was laughing my ass off. I didn't know. You gotta look. Do people know who the rapper Future, right? Do you know what his full name is? You gotta see, man, the full name of Future the rapper. I never looked up his full name. It's the funniest thing, man. Coach Greg Adams had me crying laughing this morning. I was taking a shit. And I just looked at my phone. I had my earpods in, and I scroll touchdown Vikings by Aaron Jones. Touchdown by Aaron Jones. 27-yard reception touchdown. It's another underrated player. Vikings take the lead. But anyways, he was talking about Sierra, and he was just saying, nah, if he said, if you're a woman and you get knocked up by a ninja named this, I'm about to show you Future's full name. Future, the rapper, full name. I'm about to show you Future's full name. This is the funniest thing you're gonna see, dog. This is Future's full name, dog. Oh Lord, hold on. I didn't zoom in the right tab. My bad. Let me zoom in the right tab. Future's full name. Yo, Nevadius Demon Cash. That's Future's full name. Nevadius. What is it? Nevadius Demon Cash. He said, if you're a woman and you getting knocked up by a ninja named Nevadius Demon. He said, if you getting, she said, if you a woman and you getting knocked up by a ninja named Nevadius, that's on you. You can't be talking about ninjas ain't ish. You getting knocked up by a ninja named Nevadius Demon. I was in the bathroom stall laughing my ass off. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help. That's probably the funniest thing I seen today. Future's full name is Nevadius Demon Cash. Nevadius. Yep, that's his name. Nevadius Demon Cash. That's his name. And not only that, when like in these hoes will get knocked up by people like this, and he'll all and future. How many kids future got? Like what, 10 kids? And they want to talk about what men need to do. No, this is this is. I'm sorry. This is on the ladies. I'm sorry. We cannot. Men cannot take the blame for this. There's no way. How are we taking the blame for this? And you getting knocked up by a ninja named Nevadius Demon Cash, and he got 10 kids. How many kids does Future have? Yep, seven. So they're saying it's 7 confirmed, but it's probably 9. That's what they're saying right here. They said Future has a total of 7 confirmed children, but the exact number is sometimes listed as 9, which can include his adopted son Jaden and a possible 9th child. So that means he probably has more out there. This dude damn near has 10 kids. This dude damn near has 10 kids. Damn near 10 kids. And Caleb Williams is about to get sacked again. I don't know what Caleb be doing to Caleb. Oh man. This boy here, man. This boy here. But yep, that's his name. I want you to take a look at his name one more time. Nevadius Demon Cash. That's his name. Nevadius Demon Cash. With damn near 10 kids. With umpteen different baby moms. But black men need to do better. Allegedly. black men need to do better. How? Can't be not getting knocked up by people named Nevadius Demon. Nevadius Demon. Navadius Demon Cash. Man, if there was a girl I knew in my life, I'm talking about a female relative of mine getting knocked up by Navadius, somebody named Navadius, Nashawn, Natrell, Travion. Are you? And you want to talk about how trash he is, or he's a deadbeat? That's literally like seeing there's an alligator pit and there's like I'm talking about the alligators don't escape the pit, but there's signs all over the gate. There are alligators in this pit. Do not enter the pit. But you enter the pit anyways. That's what that is right there. That's what that is. Can't be nothing else but that. I can't believe the Vikings, you know what's crazy? JJ McCarthy has been trash, low key at times. I will say for most of the game, he has not been good. But the Vikings, when you look at their bench, when you look at the players, they've been in way better spirits than Chicago. Way better spirits. I'm talking about the whole game. The players have been in way better spirits. Okay. Because I'm still looking at the way JJ McCarthy's playing. I'm like, low key, they probably should have kept Sam Darnold. But what's been helping the Vikings right now? They've been running the ball. Run the ball. That's it. Both of their running backs, they're running the ball at a high clip. They're both like both of the Vikings running backs right now. They're running it at a high clip. And I'm talking about Mason and Aaron Jones. Just run the ball. I don't know why this is. It's not that difficult. Establish the run. Establish the run. Even if it's not working, establish the run. If you establish the run, I'm telling eventually. Establish the run, man. Remember when Richard Sherman had like that flashback? He was talking about he was talking to when he was doing commentating. He's like, run the ball. I really felt what he was saying because you could tell he was getting that flashback to the Super Bowl when Pete Carroll decided to not run the ball. Mind you, Pete Carroll is a running coach. He religiously runs the ball. So, but I remember Richard Sherman. He had that flashback. He was like, run the ball. But that's what they're doing right now. They're knocking it, but specifically, they're two running backs, Mason and Aaron Jones, running it. And on top of that, using them in the passing game, specifically when it comes to Aaron Jones. That's why Aaron Jones, he's one of my favorite players in the league. Because not only is he good at running it, he also passes it as well. I mean, he's good. He's good in the passing game as well. And I always say this. I always say this. Depth at the running back position is such an underrated. Two facets when it comes to teams that really make good runs in the playoffs or in the season. Teams with depth at the running back position and teams with depth at the D-line position. Like, remember when the 49ers had, like, at one point they had all these like first rounders coming off of rotation. I'm talking about there was like players that they had drafted in the first round was coming off the bench. Like they was coming off a rotation because their D line was stacked at one time. The 49ers D line was stacked. Like when remember they had like DeForest Buckner and all these people up there. Ooh-wee. They had a stacked D line, but I always say that depth at that D line position and depth at the running back position. Same with the Eagles, depth at that D line position. When they had picked a Montez Sweat, I was like, when you can have a guy like a Montez Sweat on rotation. When you have a guy like that on I'm talking about he's on rotation. He's not the starter. like that's that's how you know. Like if you're like a offense, you're coming in. That's when you know you're screwed. That's how you know you're screwed. Yeah, that moment with Richard Sherman. He said, "I remember that moment. I think he was on Thursday Night Football." Yeah, he had that. Richard Sherman. He had a flashback. he had a real like PTSD type flashback. Let me see if I can find. I don't know if they're gonna get mad at me if I show the clip. If YouTube's gonna get mad at me if I show the clip. Let's see if I can find that. Richard Sherman PTSD. Richard Sherman. Run the ball. Yeah, that was funny. Oh man. That was funny, man. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. It was Thursday Night Football on Prime on Prime Video. Oh man. Let me see if I can bring it up. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick. That was a funny video.
On the final play, you got to run the ball again. Like I mean, I wish I had Marshawn up here. Like 1 yard, you need 1 yard. Run the ball. Run the ball.
Yo, I like that was people don't understand. That's pain right there. That's pain. People don't understand. Like I know I'm laughing, but that's pain. That's pain. You can see it in his face. That's pain right there. You can hear it in his voice. That's pain. That's real pain right there. He's like, ball. But that like I feel him now. Oh, I see JJ McCarthy showing some wheels. JJ McCarthy with the running touchdown. Oh, Lord have mercy. JJ McCarthy finding himself a little bit now. He's finding himself a little bit. Yo, Ben Johnson on the other on the for the Chicago Bears, the coach for the Chicago Bears, he looks pissed, dog. He cannot believe the Vikings have found a way to come back in this game, and now they're ahead by 2 scores. Ben Johnson looks pissed as we speak. I'm looking at him. He looks pissed. That was funny, man. But that's pain right there. That's pain. That's pain.
And CT, it's triggered. All you need 1 yard. Run the ball. Run the ball. And CT, it's triggered. All he has to do is run the football. Like necessary.
Yo, man. That's funny, man. He was triggered. He was triggered, man. He was triggered. Yeah, I'll say that. I will never forgive Me personally, I will never forgive Pete Carroll for doing that. Specifically because it's Pete. Look, I'll say this. If it was somebody like an Andy Reid doing some stupid shit like that, I'm not saying I would forgive him, but Andy Reid, he is known for airing the ball out, right? Or one of these coaches that likes to pass the ball. What's the coach that used to play for the coach for the Cardinals? The guy that failed upwards. I forgot his name. But anyways, if it was one of those passing air raid type coaches that did some like that, I wouldn't forgive him still because it's the 1 yard line. But it's like I would be like, well, he is known for that, right? Not Pete Carroll. He runs the ball. That's what he does. He's a running. Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury. If it was Cliff Kingsbury, exactly. That's what I was thinking of. If that was Cliff Kingsbury and he pulled some stupid ish like that, not running the ball at the 1 yard line with a timeout, with the timeout to go, right? If he did some stupid ish like that, I'm not saying you would forgive him, but you would get it. Oh my God, Komet just made a sick one-handed catch. That's crazy work. But yeah, Komet just made a sick one-handed catch. Oh wow. I cannot believe he caught that. But anyways, if it was him, you'd be like, well, he is known for passing it. You'd be like, he's known for passing it. But Pete Carroll, I can't forgive him because he is a running coach. We saw him at USC. We know what he likes to run the ball. He wants to run the ball. And for him not to run the ball at that situation, at that time, after what Beast Mode did, he ruined a dynasty single-handedly with one call. I'm talking about the trust. And people, and here was another factor to this. People don't remember that whole secondary, they were playing with season-ending injuries. People don't remember this. A lot of I'll say this. A lot of people don't remember this. Richard Sherman was missing he was playing with with a damaged ligament in his elbow. He needed surgery. Cam Chancellor played with a torn meniscus that day. Earl Thomas played with a separated shoulder. I mean, like they put it on the line that day. And for all their hard work to come to an end like that, he ruined a dynasty that I did not mind seeing. He ruined a dynasty that I did not mind looking at that. I'm like, because I liked the makeup of the team. Me personally, I liked the makeup of the Seahawks. It was like watching the Seahawks. It was a throwback to me, where your defense matters and your running game matters. That's it. That's what you need. Your running game and your defense. They were a team that I like to watch. Marshawn Lynch was one of my favorite players in the league at the time. Still one of my favorite players of all time in terms of personality wise. And you decide not to run the ball. I can never forgive him for that. He said, yep, the pain of the Legion of Boom dynasty prematurely ended. I'm talking about they were just getting started. Damn. Caleb Williams did DJ Moore dirty, dog. DJ Moore just got popped silly. But you gotta see this pass that Caleb Williams just threw. He set up DJ Moore. He gave him a hospital pass. Yeah, he set up DJ Moore with a hospital pass. That's crazy, dog. Now, luckily, they threw a flag because there was a late QB hit to Caleb Williams' head. Pause. But yeah, he set him up with a hospital pass. I don't like it when QBs do stuff like that. That's messed up. But anyways, Yeah, you saw that too. Yeah, yeah, you saw that too. That was a hospital pass. That is crazy. I gotta wonder. What is the relationship like between DJ Moore and Caleb? I think there's something's not clicking with them. Something's not clicking with them. You know, people might talk about Justin Fields' talent and stuff like that, but one thing that that I always loved about Justin Fields ever since his college and high school days, but specifically his college and pro days, even if teammates were saying, well, there, you know, he might not be that guy, you will never hear a former teammate say anything bad about Justin Fields. You even DJ Moore, you'll never hear him say anything bad about Justin Fields, even though even when he was struggling to find him the ball, you never heard him say anything bad about Justin Fields. I think Caleb, there's something there. There's some friction there where it's not clicking between them, and that's really not a good thing when it's when your QB and your number one wide receiver are not clicking, or like stuff like this happens when the when your QB is setting you up with passes like that. I didn't see Aaron Rodgers like, nah, I ain't finna do. Like I didn't see Aaron Rodgers. He could have thrown a couple of balls. Like I remember watching him with the Green Bay Packers. There were certain balls he could have thrown, but he would like keep the ball just to make sure his wide receiver was Jordy Nelson was good. Like he would keep the ball just to make sure, because there's certain passes you even if it would have been a completion, you just don't throw it unless if it's desperation time, because it's a hospital pass. He threw a straight hospital pass for DJ Moore. He knew he was going to get hit like that. That's crazy, man. I'm not saying he did that OD on purpose. I'm just saying something's not clicking with DJ Moore and Caleb Williams, which is usually not a good sign. It's like, remember when like OBJ and Baker Mayfield, they just couldn't click on the field. Okay, Caleb Williams is scrambling. He's going for the touchdown. Touchdown, Caleb Williams. I'm assuming that is a touchdown. I haven't seen a signal from the ref just yet. There's a flag on the play. Oh, ref is now saying it's a touchdown. Let's see what the flag is on. Okay, they're looking at the replay to see if he was short. Oh yeah, by the way, one of my favorite streams that I've ever done on this channel, when I did the one of my favorite live streams I've ever done was when I did the body count live stream while I was watching Real Madrid and Barcelona in the summer game. That's one of my favorite streams. I don't know if this would be up there, but this was a fairly comfortable stream. I think I'm gonna start doing it more like this, having because my monitor, my TV monitor, it's not a TV, it's my gaming monitor, but my monitor is literally right there right next to my web camera, and then I have my laptop like right here. I think I should start doing things. It should be like this more. It should definitely be more like this. Definitely. Damn. Some weird shit stuck in my teeth. I gotta well, right after this, I'm gonna probably drink something and then I'm gonna floss. Oh man. Oh, so they have him short, so they didn't say it was a touchdown. So they had him just short of the goal line. They're probably gonna play action fake it. Yep, it was a play action. Okay, roams a Dunze for the touchdown. Yep. I'm like, they're definitely gonna play action it from here. Off the I formation. I'm like, they're not gonna run it here. They gonna do a fake. They gonna do a fake. Yeah, that was the perfect PA play right there. That was the perfect play action pass right there. Roma Dunes and then Roma Dunze was literally butt booty naked, wide open in the end zone. Okay, 24 to 27. Sorry, 27 to 24. The Vikings lead by 3. The second half really picked up. Much better from McCarthy. A little better from Caleb Williams. But Caleb Williams, I'll say this: Caleb Williams, he needs to improve. He needs to improve. Oh yeah, I'll say this, Garrett Grant. I have to formally apologize to you. In terms of when speaking on your quarterback Jalen Hurts, because I've been seeing some of these QB lists, and people been really disrespecting Jalen Hurts, like really disrespecting his position. Jalen Hurts is I saw a list. They had Jared Goff over him. I was like, what? I'm like, they both played for stacked squads. They both, like, you can't even use the whole, Jalen Hurts has a stacked squad against him. If you're gonna put Jared Goff over, Jared Goff has always had Jared Goff outside of his rookie year. Outside of his rookie year, when he had that charlatan of a coach, my Titans former head coach. I'm blanking on his name right now, but outside of his rookie year, Jared Goff has always had a stacked squad, and he's always had great offensive play callers working with him. So that whole stacked squad excuse, you can't even use that if you're gonna put Jared Goff over Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. That's crazy. That's wild. In what universe? And mind you, I'm of the opinion of, look, it's Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, Josh Allen, and then there's everybody else, right? that's how I look at it, anyways. And everybody else could basically fight for their position. That's how I look at it, anyways. But seeing a lot of these people's lists, I was like, wow, how do you have Jared Goff over Jalen Hurts? That's just disrespectful, dog. Your accomplishments need to mean something at one point or another, especially if you're a guy of Jalen Hurts caliber. But especially if you're putting Stafford up there, you're putting these other players up there that they had stacked squads as well. That's why they won. That defense, like Matt Stafford was playing with the Rams. He had Cooper Kupp and OBJ. And then on top of that, remember who he had at defense? It was Aaron Donald and Von Miller on the same damn team. Their defense was basically unstoppable. It was Aaron. He had Aaron Donald and Von Miller on one side of the ball as his counterpart to help Stafford out. But we give Stafford all the credit for him winning his Super Bowl with a stacked squad, but we're not going to give Jalen Hurts his credit. They both played on stacked squads. Both of them. They both played on stacked squads. Yet you're going to put Jared Goff over him? How's that fair? That's not fair. And also, I am tempted to buy the Sunday ticket to watch all the NFL games. I am tempted to do that. I am tempted to do that. And no, I'm not going to watch the post game conferences when you got these players talking to the media or having these interviews with these reporters afterwards. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. So let's see something here. Where's my mouse? Oh, here we go. I lost my mouse cursor. Garrett Grant said, "All good, Chris. Some of these lists are just ridiculous. I just wish people gave Jalen more credit for multiple Super Bowl appearances and a chip. Yeah, in both Super Bowls, he played well. He first of all, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes in both of these Super Bowls. Well, definitely in this one, obviously, but in the one that he lost, you can make a great argument that he outplayed Patrick Mahomes in that one. But Jalen Hurts, he gets the he played on the stack squad, argument used against him. But Stafford played on the stack squad. Jared Goff played on the stack squad, and they're putting him above him. That's not, to me, that's just not fair. If we're being like, we got to be we got to be intellectually honest with these conversations. We got to start being we can't be disrespectful with these conversations. Let me see. Let me search up a random top 10 QB list. Top 10 QBs in the NFL. Yeah, you had what's the NFL QB rankings? Let me just go off. Yeah, like you see, like they don't even have, like people don't even have, like it was a lot of lists I saw like this. Let me show you this. So this is off of NFL.com, right? So in the top 10, in his top 10 list, he doesn't even have Jalen Hurts in the top 10. And I'm like, fresh off of a Super Bowl, you don't got him in the top 10 after proving himself again. Because what people don't give him credit for is when they did stop the run, when they did dare Jalen Hurts to throw the ball, he delivered every single time. Anytime the defenses they dare Jalen Hurts to throw the ball, he delivered every single time. Every single time they dared him to throw the ball, he delivered. Now, like, I'm sorry. So you see how they put in Jared Goff over him? Like, this is ridiculous. And Justin Herbert at 6 is way too high. Hold on. Let me show you the list. I'm going to show you the list. Let me show you guys the list. So you got this list right here. You got Patrick Mahomes 1, they got Lamar 2, they got Josh Allen 3, Joe Burrow 4, Jaden Daniels 5. I understand why they have Jaden Daniels 5. I get it. But then they have Justin Herbert 6, Stafford 7, but he has a bad back. Baker Mayfield 8. I understand why. CJ Stroud and then Jared Goff. I'm like, but Jalen Hurts has accomplished way more. And people are going to go off by the numbers, but I'm pretty sure the numbers are very similar. Especially, look, I'm sorry. Jared Goff should not be over Jalen Hurts. That's just disrespectful. To me. To me, that's just disrespectful. Jalen Hurts has accomplished way more. He's just accomplished way more. He shouldn't be like they have him right next to Geno Smith, which is just no disrespect, but oh yeah, the Vikings, they basically secured the win. The Vikings basically secured the win right now. So I think the last timeout has been used. So now the Vikings, they got to punt it. And the Chicago Bears are going to look for a miracle off this punt. Okay, he feels the punt back at the 30. And I'm pretty sure Caleb is going to try to get it to the 50. He's going to try to get it to field goal range. Caleb is going to try to get it to field goal range real quick, and they're probably going to try like a 60-yard field goal or something. But yeah, these lists, I don't like these kind of lists, man. That's not right. We can't pick and choose when we get to use that stacked team argument against somebody. We can't elevate somebody for that and then downgrade somebody else with the same argument. That's intellectually dishonest. Oh my God. Oh man. But anyways, shout out to Tom Grassi though for rating the chat. That was wild. I did not see that one coming. I did not see that coming. When I like, because Garrett has seen it where the war band will invade the chat. I thought that's what was happening at first. I was like, oh, I think the war band coming through. But then I'm looking at the number. I'm like 300, 275. What the? I was like, what in the hell? I'm like, I know the war band's strong, but I'm like, that's a whole lot. Okay, the Bears are going to try to lateral it, and that's not going to work. And the Vikings win the game 27-24. I cannot believe JJ McCarthy in the second half looked better than Caleb Williams. This is wild work. This is wild work. Now, I'll say this, going off this game, this is the thing. I'm looking at JJ McCarthy, and we might be looking at another Tua Tagovailoa situation. So I'm not looking at this game. Looking at this game, I'm not too impressed with JJ McCarthy. Caleb Williams is on the hot seat, in my opinion. He needs to stop playing around. And Jay, I'll say this, Jay, if the Vikings, because the Vikings drafted him high for a reason. I need to see better from JJ McCarthy. I need to see better. The standard has been raised when you're talking about guys like CJ Stroud, how they came in, Jaden Daniels, how they came in. The standard has been raised. So I need to see more, especially he's on a great squad. Like he's on a Super Bowl. Like the Vikings are their squad outside of the QB. Outside of the QB, their squad is good enough to make the Super Bowl. So I need to see more. I need to see better. I need to see better from JJ McCarthy. The reason why they stayed in the game is because Caleb Williams is one of the most erratic QBs. He's one of the most frantic looking QBs I've seen in a while. Like frantic in a bad way. But like I say, as long as Aiden McConnell, is that his name? I keep messing up the coach's name. Oh no, Coach McConnell. Kevin O'Connell. Sorry, I'm blanking. I was blanking on his name. As long as Kevin O'Connell is calling the plays, and as long as they still have Flores running that defense, the Vikings should still be fine. I still think they're going to make it second place in the NFC North. But looking at this game, this is why I said the Packers are going to win the division. Anybody that really paid attention to this game, now you see why I had the Packers winning the division. Because and after watching this game, can you say that the Vikings or the Bears are better than the Packers? After watching the Packers versus the Lions, after watching the Packers face the Lions yesterday, after watching these two teams, the Vikings and Bears going at it, you cannot say that any of those teams are better than the Packers. You can't say it. This is why I had the Packers winning the division. And the Packers, they're just getting started. They have a very young team. And then you add Micah Parsons to the mix. He doesn't even have to really rush back injury-wise, but he already made an instant impact. I mean, already making an instant impact already. Coming in, first play of the game, disrupting. But anyway, that's it for today. Game over. The only thing I probably will, let me show a bonus video. Maybe I should show a bonus video, but I will show. Let me show you this though. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. We will. That needs to be a topic that needs to be discussed. The artists that your girlfriends or your wives are listening to, this is something that people need to pay attention to. Music is very powerful. Music is a very powerful tool. It is a very powerful weapon where you can pass the message that you want to pass on. You can pass subliminal messages. It's, music is a very powerful weapon. So we'll definitely do a segment on that. But what other video can I show you that we can do a topic? Oh yeah, I didn't go over Aisha Curry yet. That's a video I forgot to do. That is a video I forgot to do. Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go over that. We gotta go over that. Oh, they wild for this thumbnail. They wild as hell for that thumbnail. It's not even like that. But yeah, we'll probably go over the Aisha thing, but specifically we can go over the female artist thing, or the artists that women listen to. That's a very important topic that we gotta go over one more time. But anyway, shout out to the Vikings for the win. Shout out to the Vikings for the win. I'm not really impressed. And maybe the reason why I'm not impressed is because I'm looking at these teams. I'm like, I thought they would be rivaling the Packers, but I'm looking at the way these teams played each other. I'm like, yeah, they're not better than the Packers. The Lions, oh yeah, the Lions are definitely not better than the Packers. They were on Jared Goff's ass. Jared Goff could not breathe last night. If you guys saw the game in the middle of the day, Jared Goff could not breathe in the pocket. And we already know Jared Goff. He plays nice when he's protected, but if you can get if you get in Jared Goff's space a little bit, he folds. If you get in Jared Goff's space just a little bit, you get in Jared Goff's space just a little bit, he folds. So we already know how that works. But yeah, shout out to you guys for watching. Thank you, Tom Grossi, for rating the channel. That's very memorable. I'm gonna remember that for a minute. I thought that was the war. It was crazy. I thought that was the war band for a second. I bet you those guys were like, wait, what is the war band? But anyway, shout out to Tom Grossi for getting my numbers up. Shout out to him. But yeah, I was not impressed with the Vikings nor the Bears. But the Vikings will be fine. No matter who, I'll say this, no matter who's playing QB for the Vikings will be fine because Kevin McConnell is a great coach. They have an excellent coach at the helm. And they have a stacked ass team. That team's stacked. It is what it is. But shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll say this. I already know I missed a lot of chats because everybody came in. I don't know if I missed a super chat. I gotta look through. I don't know what I missed a lot. Everybody came in at once. I was shocked. But anyway, shout out to you guys. Shout out to Tom Grossi. Shout out to the young kid, the 13-year-old. Let me see. I still have his channel. I know I still have his channel up here. NM Goat. Shout out to NM Goat. Shout out to the 13-year-old. Keep making your content. Keep doing what you're doing. Shout out to you, young man. Keep doing what you're doing. And I'm out of here. I don't know what outro video I'm finna use. I don't know what outro video I'm finna use. Let's see what I got. Oh, man. Do I have a new one? I might do, yeah. I'll do the Dr. Umar Johnson one. Shout out to you guys, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning.
Donations. 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 Gifts. 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 More gifts. More gifts.